almost like men.
Yeah.
Like Annie Oakley could have sort of pulled that one off in some movies, you know, that kind of thing.
Okay. Is it talking about like female empowerment or female?
Well, the whole movie was basically, you know, a love affair is allowed to happen between two people, and she becomes the caregiver because later on he gets disabled, hurt, and, you know, but we don't know how much, and he recovers within 12 or 14 hours, which I think is crap. They should have had the sunrise, sunset, at least the next morning he comes out of it, but he comes out of the same day.
Yeah.
But then he just fell off a cliff into the snow. And,
Okay, that's snow though, so.
So I, you know, a wimp. Did no broken bones. He's laying on a couch. Well, you have to give him rest.
Wow. He fell, I guess.
What the heck?
Yeah.
Driving rain.
Yeah, it's
set up for this.
All of a sudden.
And these bushes right here make you feel like you're on the ground floor. Okay, so anyhow, I've got obviously these, what do you call it, these areas of restriction or demand that I have to make sure I have.
Yeah, because you want to make sure that it's... Okay, and I'm just checking.
Oh, this was yours.
Oh gosh, it's hailing.
Oh, for its function. That one is kind of going to be function. Explain technique, what the technique or device does.
Yeah.
Okay. How does it affect the meaning of the shot? See, I don't know if I'm really consider myself a critical interpreter of things. It's, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's hard to get to that critical analysis point. But all you really have to do is find something that you get interested in. Like what you said, like that's the scene that interested you, right? That's the scene that you're like, oh, I can see something in that. And all you have to do is kind of like dig deeper. So it's like, what interested me? I thought it was really neat the way that they kept that shot wide and they showed the difference in the height between the two characters. Why does that thing interest me? Like what makes it different in the movie? What is it saying? You just kind of have to kind of keep uncovering and keep digging, and it might
what
take a lot.
technique or device does, what the technique or device does, how it affects the meaning of the shot or sequence it's in, its local effect.
And can you say that like in your own words?
Not at this point.
No. Like, do you want to try?
Well, I'm both anxious looking. I don't know in my head what time it is.
Okay,
and that's one of the biggest things for me.
Let me keep my phone out. That way we'll know. It's 3:34 right now.
Okay.
So I'll
So I can't
keep
freak
that
out for 10 minutes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm going to write down 5 so that I can put this sort of like meaning of film. That's the whole, not the paragraph, of course. Technique. Technique fits into I think in a way it's the, you know, since it's an older man, younger woman, or younger woman, older man, I think that's what it's trying to say, is that we're too age and age and class critical. You know,
Okay.
Because obviously older men all the time can have younger
Yeah.
women.
And especially when you're thinking of when like men marry, when rich men like marry a poorer girl, it's totally
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
But if a woman tried to do that, like especially
Marry a poor
back
guy,
then,
yeah.
yeah, they'd be like,
He's
"What are you
using
doing?
you. What are you?
He's supposed to like the man is supposed to provide for you.
Yeah.
You can't be the breadwinner." Yeah. So it's
It's
commentary.
reversal. It's almost reversal.
Yeah. Okay.
And it shows that obviously, the end of the movie shows that no one else really matters too much when it's about your own. In other words, you should go with your own feelings and not worry about the criticism of others.
Yeah, meaning like if you fall in love with a younger gardener and you're an old lady, get at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they say. Well, the thing is, and it shows that this basically is a possibility. It is a possibility. Not someone would love you for yourself, not for you. You know.
Would you say that like the wide shot kind of does that, where it shows?
Well,
them,
it
like,
shows that he's willing to walk closer to her.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And he basically is inspired. You know, I would say he's inspired by her. I try to believe that some people, you talk to someone that they might think that whatever you tried to say was worth a damn.
Mm-hmm.
But in most cases, it's like, I'm sorry, I'm on my cell phone. Leave me alone. You know, and that's the general interaction that I see a lot of times. In my route to school.
Yeah.
And every once in a while, I've only had a couple occasions where I really felt like, that someone was really happy to have talked to me. And it's kind of refreshing, but it doesn't happen a lot. And so therefore, I haven't got like a cadre of friends that I hang out with.
Yeah, it's hard.
How long you been here?
This is my 4th year.
Okay, so if you said, is there a certain rendezvous point where you sit and collect and talk with a few friends?
It was the dorms for me. Like that's the only reason. That's the only real reason why I had friends here was because like we lived in the.
But they've moved on. They've
small.
already graduated.
No, we're still friends. I'm actually one of the ones who's actually getting out on time, so I'm leaving them more like.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
And so what? I would just say she's inspired by him. And
I said she
inspires him. Sorry.
Okay.
And the reality is, because he feels better being around. He's enriched because of that. He feels admiration, I guess. I mean, it's like, I hate to say that a lot of people can charm someone into life.
Yeah.
And
She's probably charming, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's enriched by. What was the other word that you said?
She inspires him, but then he feels that she not only inspires him, she gets him to be more. I don't want to say productive, but to be happy to.
She fulfills.
She helps him evolve, I guess. Because he's never been in a real relationship. It sounds like.
Okay.
Because he basically doesn't have a complex. He doesn't have complex needs.
Yeah.
And so.
And you've got a lot of great, like, this is a lot of great interpretive thought, but what you need, the only thing that you need now is the examples. So, where do you see that in the film? And of course, you kind of need to go back to
it's all, what's the word? When you don't see it, you just believe it.
Yeah. I'm going to give you this so that you can write down what you thought out. Because,
Purple won't work. I can get my pencil.
Oh, purple, it's a darker purple.
You think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what's interesting, like what we know of this bit, like what can you take out and say the evidence is for that idea that it's a reversal? And you have that shot with like height differences, right?
Yeah, well, it's even his demeanor when he first sits down. He's not even. He's rude, kind of.
Yeah, he's quiet, and you said it like he's kind of sitting like this, right? He's just kind of.
Yeah.
But that's because he doesn't feel comfortable being around her, probably because he feels like, oh, she's older than me, she's a better class than me.
I don't even think no, he's not that kind of person. Not better class than me. He's probably trying to say, what does she want from me?
Yeah, because he probably hasn't been treated like this by any other person who's employed him. So he's like, you're my employer. Why am I like talking to you casually? And so he's confused. Mm-hmm. And then once he starts talking about what he loves, once he kind of gets into it, he raises up. And I don't know, he has a passion that she might not have. Because
she doesn't have any direction at all.
Yeah. So
other than she's like just she has nothing going on.
So even though he has that, so even though he's of a lower class, even though he's younger, he kind of is raised because he has that passion, maybe, or maybe like that's what he's talking about, and
he has goals and I'll say ethics.
Okay.
Because as he talks, you hear about his, or as the movie progresses, you see more of his philosophical advice that he's given others, and he lives his life, and he's the simple man.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't try to. He's got friends that are poor and happy as hell.
And does that like elevate him because he's not bogged down by the class and the like social structures? Because she's having a difficult time with her society right now.
Yeah.
Because she has to go out and talk with people, and she's like, my husband just died, I don't want to do that. She wants to feel like a normal human.
And the single men that are basically around her,
mm-hmm.
one is like a dote, and he drinks,
mm-hmm.
and he's trying to just have sex with her. And the other guy who likes her, he's an older guy. He's even older than her.
Oh.
And he's trying to date her, but he's trying to teach her, like, of course you'll want to marry me, because what else would you have going for you? And I'll respect you.
Yeah, but that doesn't pertain to this particular scene.
No.
So let's
And I can't remember if the other guy is before or after him.
Okay.
That's
okay. Like, let's stay focused on like this one scene and this one interaction between the characters.
Yeah. So I'd say so. The shot shows. I just say demeanor, I guess, and you know that she's trying to, get him to talk about himself. I should say.
Yeah.
And.
Because
I don't know if that's really called it's not encouraging. She's not trying to encourage him. She's just trying to know about him.
Yeah, but like that shift from being shut down and not even looking at her to being up, and doing something. That's a big shift. Mm-hmm. Like and if we see him standing up, that's notable.
Yeah.
Especially if like. And
smiling too.
Yeah, especially if it doesn't cut from there. If it's just that, if you like
transition, I guess you'd call that.
Yeah, the transition between just the movement, like that movement of him, kind of maybe coming out of his shell, talking, and then like saying, "Oh, hey," and then smiling and talking about something that he's passionate about. That's a huge deal.
I don't even know when he sits. Like I said, when he sits back down, she's sort of like she's sort of holding the flower, and I can't remember the rest of the dialogue because obviously it sort of like just dissolves, but the lens was pretty much really focused on the flower.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because the flower is very bright and golden.
Okay.
So even when he stands up, the trees, sort of come, because I would say that his uniform is contrasting the gold flowers. It's leaves, it's not flowers.
Okay. And that's a way that you can. And maybe that gold is supposed to be kind of like opulence or something. I don't know. Colors.
It's a season, though.
It's a season.
You would think. I mean, in a way, you think it. I can't remember if it's. Oh yeah, it's snowing. It's winter, so this is the fall. Because it's obviously because there's snow on the ground in this movie, and they do bundle up.
Oh.
But it's it's a change of the seasons.
Okay.
And because I don't know if it takes place. It's got to take place over. Because they're coming into the Christmas, so it's got to be fall.
Okay, during that scene, is it fall?
It must be fall because the kids are going to have Christmas, and she's waiting for the kids to be home for the holidays, and they decide not to show up.
Oh.
So I guess this is fall.
Okay.
And if they want to do that seasonal thing.
And that's about colors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then he talks about that particular variety, and he says this flower. It even says he even talks about that the Chinese call it. And I can't remember it. I just, like I said, it's just like absolutely. I have to hear things 5, 10 times. You got to repeat it.
That's okay. And you can watch it very specifically.
Yeah.
And trying to find these elements in those scenes and see, okay, that flower means, or maybe that gold flower is his inspiration or something, or that the gold represents his inspiration in some way. I'm not sure how gold would represent inspiration, but
yeah. Well, there's probably some person that's seen the movie. Everybody's got these little things they want to believe, and they say, it either was or it was. And it was no intent at all. It just happened to be interpreted that way.
Yeah, and I'm personally a believer of the readers.
That thing pointed this way. They just said it. And when it's like everything everybody does. Okay, when you went into how many choices of lipstick did you have before you decide which one to take?
Yeah, and sometimes artists just throw it on. They don't care. But I also kind of believe a little bit in the depth of the artist and in reading response interpretation, because of this example that somebody said to me, if you have a Rorschach test, somebody and you see a butterfly, it doesn't matter if the person who made the Rorschach test just splattered ink on and didn't see it. You see a butterfly and you can analyze why that butterfly is there.
And there was no intent on the artist.
Yeah, and the intention of the artist isn't necessarily that important, but the words, or in this case, the things that you see on film, that's important. It says something, and even if it's an interpretation that the artist didn't intend, it's still something that's. And they said
there, even though he had what you might call a knowledgeable job, it wasn't very classy to these people.
Yeah.
Because there's some people that own. The farmers that are multi-millionaires.
Yeah.
But they're also not intellectually schooled, some of them, and some of them are. But this intellectual thing is pretty much a new, the last couple 100-year thing. It's like not everybody. You were automatically schooled in some way when you did have money, because that's what people did with their spare time in the old days.
Yeah.
You had to read. You had to learn basics. And the rest of the society never could read. I mean, really, this is a big new thing.
Yeah. Do you have everything on here that you wanted to get down?
Yeah, I think so. He says, why should I follow gold? To get close, she inspires him.
Yeah. Because these are just your thoughts on what you said.
Yeah.
And I was just trying to get them down.
I don't know what BC feels.
Because. Sorry, that's how
Because he feels.
Yeah.
Enriched. Okay. Or appreciated is another word, because no one obviously.
Is 375 your core class too?
Yeah.
Okay.
They seem to all be quads,
That's interesting. Usually you only have to take one core class. Are there multiple feet?
There's 2 or 3 levels of it. 2 or 3.
I had like one core class. I have a senior seminar, and those are the two like requirements really. But I mean, obviously there are others.
Well, this other one, the interpretive images art, that one's a art class too. But it doesn't have as much real reading. It's more,
You keep that for you.
She wants
Yeah.
us to learn terminologies.
Yeah, it's 3:51 now.
I'm going to do this just so I remember that it's supposed to be in color.
Okay, yeah, cool.
Because otherwise, and it looks like there's going to be 5 of them.
Uh-huh.
Oh, this wacky woman.
Do you understand, like, do you kind of understand what she's wanting to do with that, though?
Yeah, she wants you to have all the points, and then she wants you to have them in that order.
Yeah, and it might not necessarily be in that order. I think you could go out of order if you wanted to.
Yeah, but based on what I know.
I've seen in the samples.
Is that your memory card?
Yeah, they're both.
Okay.
They're both those.
Okay. Yeah.
Alan, can you date this and initial the ones that you're cool with?
I don't know. April 1st?
Yep.